Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Triple Forte Matt, and in today's video, we're back for episode 2 of the long play series for Outlast. God, that sounded so weird. Anyways, we're back playing some more Outlast 2, trying to give you guys some tips and strategies for the Insane Mode Messiah Trophy. And yeah, it's basically just gonna be a host commentary. Me guiding you through why is the gameplay not moving? It's in the same spot. Oh, it's my fault. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I was actually listening to a trend create video as this video was being made. So, that's why I stopped in the commentary. Now I just sound all unorganized, but I don't care because we're human beings and we suck at things sometimes. Anyways, I'm going to try and guide you guys with my best tips and visual strategy on the game. So right now you're being chased, and there's not really a lot that I can talk about to the guide. You pretty much just have to practice through the game. I'm fairly well practiced with this game, so I know pretty much everything that's going to happen in this little hour snippet of the game that I recorded for you guys. But beyond that hour, I don't know anything, so I'm going to have to go back and practice. I honestly think that's the one area where I goofed. I just didn't try it and do a second playthrough. I more so just tried to go for achievement guides, and while those are nice little tidbits and extras, I think the main focus should have been on actually playing the game, which I still have not given a full second playthrough to at the moment. We're doing it all in Nightmare though. So by the time I practice the game, I should be able to go back and give you guys the third episode of this series where we'll finish it off. This chase is pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to give you guys that much information. Pretty much just, memorize everything that you need to do and keep moving. That's literally all you can do in this game if you want to survive a chase. Make sure you have a bandage here because you're going to need it. I think you will be able to find one in the next little section since you do take damage as you jump out that window. I have one here, so I'm just going to take the time to stop and heal as soon as I push that crate, I believe. Or the cart, rather, not a crate. This next little section is actually going to be a tad bit more challenging because, we're coming back in contact with Marta. But I'll guide you through. So I think I actually go and try and find the bandage for you guys. It may be there in Insane Mode. I practiced the regular Insane Mode, not Nightmare, permadeath last night, and it wasn't there. But it was here in Nightmare Mode, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that. It should be one, in my personal opinion, since you're always going to take damage there. But here we go with the Marta strategy. So the first thing you're going to want to do is push that. Now I'm actually making sure before I do it my stamina is as full as it can be. And instead of actually going underneath the fence like a lot of people do, I just like to train her around counterclockwise around the fencing. And I think that's when I actually slide underneath the fence. Now, when I try and push the crate again, she's going to break open that door. Or the doorway in the fence, because she has that big pickaxe. And then we can just train her around again. Just make sure your stamina is full. And also be careful when you're running around this section here. I have gotten caught on something. She didn't kill me, but I have gotten caught on something, and you don't want that to happen to you on the insane difficulty. So if you've trained her around again, you should probably be in a similar situation as I am. I thought she would actually follow me through the fence, but she didn't, and I'm just waiting for the music to dial down, because once that music dials down, you're safe, and you can continue to push that crate This time around, I was able to push the crate all the way to the door and hop over. But if you hear music, stop immediately and get behind the cart. Because if you get behind the cart, you're looking physically at her, and then you'll be able to, you know, adapt to where her position is and, you know, where you want to go.
I don't know what the fuck your god wants from me, lady.
This next section here is actually really simple. All you have to do is cue dialogue with Josiah and hide in the locker in the chapel. There's literally only one way you can die in this section, and that's if you decide to leave the locker, which I have done. Not because I'm stupid, but just out of pure curiosity to see what's gonna happen. So, please, stay in the locker so you don't die in the real insane mode.
The father. I'm not anybody's father. I just killed me. You have to kill me. North is coming back. Mary, you heard her, and I'll talk. If you kill me, he won't have reason to hurt her. Please.
We found her, Josiah, trying to flee amongst the skulls, not the actions of a woman unburdened by an immaculate conscience.
Mary. Oh, God.
Actually, your yoke mate, honey. He can't see you.
It's me, Josiah. Please, tell him I don't.
Let her go. Oh, God, Mary, I'm sorry. I didn't want...
God hates vanity. So do I. The outsider woman has this world's destruction in her womb. But Val and his apostates stole away the unborn enemy. The fiend's father has escaped. She will bear her filthy yield before dawn. We have only these few hours to find her and kill her and save this paradise from hell everlasting. Where is she? Where did Val take her?
I can't.
This is for you, Josiah. Make the woman scream. Where's the woman? The womb that harbors the Antichrist.
Strengthen the rebellious angel. I have no fear. Strength. Enemy of my enemy. Enemy of my enemy. Enemy of my
Tell
enemy.
Josiah to make it stop. God ain't got ears for simple laws.
Stop. Oh, God. Please.
Where is the woman? Where did Val take her?
Stop. Stop. I'll tell you. I'm sorry, Mary. I'm so sorry.
Where is the woman?
The mines of the mountain. Val has her in the mines. You'll never get her back. Not before the birth.
We are the hands of the Lord. We cannot fail.
The world dies screaming.
Thank you, Josiah.
God and all
That's
this
American.
arrogance.
Give the woman rest.
Alright, so I'm gonna pipe in here. Make sure that Blake mentions the mines before you leave the locker, because it can be quite tempting to leave after the conversation is complete. Okay, now once you hear the mines or see the mines with subtitles on your screen, you're safe. And you want to just run. Assuming you guys have already played through the game, but if you haven't, you're gonna run straight down here to the fence or to the door where you can actually interact with it. Now, The game has received a global patch on all difficulties, and I believe in this area they slowed down the enemy movement just slightly. So you know, you don't have to be as fast to get down here and push open that door, but you still want to be quick. As soon as you think you can squeeze through, that's when I like to do it. That's when I like to squeeze through, because you don't want to die by taking a hit. It'll slow you down and they'll kill you. But you should have enough time with the patch slowing down the enemy movement. Just don't take too long. And with the fields, because that's what you're about to make your way into, you want to make sure you're paying attention to the lights in the field. Those are actually going to be, I believe, I don't know what you call them, farmers or heretics. They're going to be in there, and they do have their blades and they're ready to strike. When you hear their dialogue or see their lights, try and move away from the area so that you can stay well hidden. And if you do get turned around, look up for the light. That will be your best friend in this game, and it will guide you to where you need to go. I didn't get turned around this time, but I know when I played through previously, I have gotten turned around, but was able to successfully find my way out of the fields just by following the light. So, pro tip. Here you're just gonna make sure you grab the crank and install it so that you can stop the water flow. And if you're fast enough, then you can actually bypass both of the enemies. I believe that was a part of the patch as well. They don't move as fast, and they're not directly behind that door like they were before when the game originally came out. Also, I talked about this in the first episode, but the battery glitch when they made the global patch has actually been fixed. I did try playing the regular insane mode where there's permadeath involved, and yeah, the battery is back full where it should be, like on the PS4. Don't know why it took so long on the PC, but hey, I'm not complaining. I'm glad that we have our full battery back so we can actually attempt to go for this. My problem is just getting through the entire game. It does get slightly boring, which is why it's a small reason why these videos are taking quite some time to produce. Just because I'm practicing off camera so that I can be organized with my strategy when I actually do hit the record button, and I know what I'm doing so that everything kind of goes quickly. So for this specific portion with Marta, I did bypass where you want to trigger her so that I could grab the battery and the bandage there. But when you trigger her, I don't believe subtitles are going to pop up, so make sure you hear her voice or you're paying attention to when she speaks. So once she does speak, you're going to turn right around, go to the right, and hide behind that tree. I always crawl. I'm not sure if she can see you if you crouch, but she does path in to the right where you are, so you know, I always like to take the extra mile, or go the extra mile rather, and be safe, because remember, this is insane mode, and if you die, you have to start the entire game over again, and that's never a good thing, ever. Because this game is long, and it sucks because after you die, in the original game, they made it so that you load back in and you don't have to go through the first cutscene. But in this game, if you die, you have to start all the way over again. You have to go through the first plane crash cutscene. If there aren't already, as if there aren't already enough cutscenes in the game, you have to go through the first one, which is painstakingly long. They should have added that to the hotfix too. But I'm not complaining. Maybe a little bit. Anyways, once she passed through, you're just gonna do as you would do. Find the wood to pass through, and she can't harm you here. Make sure you grab the hook and make your way back around.
Jesus. Should have prayed for refrigeration.
like I was standing there because I thought I saw something flashing. I thought it was a note there. I was like, is that a note? I've never seen anything right there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the collectible where you find every single note and recording in the game. I just think that would be so tedious, you know, like if you miss one, you have to play through the entire game over again just so that you can maybe or maybe not find that one that was missing from your collection. Besides, there are already videos out on that one. This one is a standard for me because, shoot, make sure you don't miss that. I actually did that, but I managed to recover, didn't panic. But there are already videos out on that. But this one is a staple for me because after I did my first playthrough of the Outlast, the regular Outlast game and the Whistleblower DLC, then I did the Insane Mode videos for that game, for those games. So I'm just trying to keep it similar. It would be kind of cool though for me to 100% this game, and my channel is based around achievements, but I don't know if I have the patience and the drive to actually go after that. If that's something you want to see from me, you guys can just leave it in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to go for it if you guys want to see it, but if you guys don't want to see it, then why waste my time going for it?
Wait.
See ya.
This is before I found her hanging.
Mom's getting ready to leave and go to work.
Wake up. I'm still here. The other half of this must be somewhere. Jessica would have left the hangman somewhere for Lynn to find.
It is surprising how I died when I was actually playing Insane Mode. I was actually on Nick's portion of the game, and it's like the enemy's tracking was just so weird. It's so different how it happened in my run of the Insane Mode and how it happened in Nightmare playthrough. On this video in particular, because the heretic, well, you guys will see it. The heretic that showed up in my run, which I recorded, but I deleted the file just because I didn't feel like showing it or uploading it. I didn't think it was that good, to be honest. The heretic actually came and was running real quickly at me and killed me. But after getting the rope, this time in this run, there was no heretic. So I don't understand how the heretic even got there in the first place. I just can't really understand the randomness in this game, and it would be okay, I guess, if the game was shorter, but since the game is so long, to die it to something so random, maybe it was me. I had to have done something wrong and like triggered it incorrectly or unexpectedly, but man, just thinking about this game length, I'd hate for that to happen to me. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna cue the demon in, and what I'm doing is, I learned this from PS4 trophies actually, that you want to run back and forth between the hallway or the blue doors and the exit door 3 times, and once your screen is like really kind of moving to the left and to the right, that's when you pop your night vision on when you get to one of the doors and turn around. That's how you cue the demon. Don't waste your light like I did and try and cue the demon in the middle of the hallway by turning on your night vision and clicking it on and off. It won't work. You have to wait till you're at a door and turn around with your night vision on, of course, to cue the jump scare. Unfortunately, I did it on the other side of the hallway. You're supposed to do it on the exit side so that you can get thrust back to the blue doors, and then the exit will be right there, but we still get there. It's just a small detail if you're speed running. And I believe after we climb up here, we're actually going to run into Nick. And Nick is fun. Nick is like your best friend in this game. He just... Oh wait, no, we're not even gonna encounter Nick. My bad, guys. Nick doesn't actually show up. He is showing up, but he's not showing up the way I expected him to show up. You have to actually go through another school section before that happens. My bad. Oh, and yeah, on this section here, just make sure you're careful. I died stupidly because I ran while I was trying to tightrope style cross these logs, and I'd hate for that to happen to you guys while you're on your insane mode run. There are a lot of different areas after this hour-long gameplay that you actually have to do that, and if you run, if you sprint, you're gonna fall. You can sprint or kind of speed walk while you're balancing yourself on the log, but when you run on the log before you're on it, you're not gonna have your balance and you're gonna fall and you're gonna die. And let's just say I warned you.
Shit!
We got another cutscene here, but I figure I'll talk. I just wanted to apologize for the fact that these videos have been coming out sporadically. I've been really busy with school. The year is wrapping up. The day I'm filming this is Mother's Day, and you know, we're not getting that much homework. But on the previous week, we actually had a AP World History project that I had to, although I didn't want to, I had to dedicate my time to so that I, you know, could pass the class. And that's what I was busy doing over that week. It's also been kind of conflicting because, you know, I've just been trying to make these videos, and homework has been really was piling up that week. I'm just reminiscing on the fact that I had so much homework that weekend. It just screwed me over. That's why it's been nearly 2 weeks before this video is going up. And I'm sorry about that. You guys have actually encouraged me to continue this series because someone was like, I just bought Outlast and your guides are going to help me. And I'm like, that means so much. So, you know, let's all be encouraging in the comment section down below. And, well, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but you can just let me know by leaving a like or commenting if these guides are helping. It'll encourage me to make more of them. Surprised it actually took me this long. I think I've just been overthinking how I want to execute this series in general. But we're rolling with the punches of life, and we're gonna keep things moving here. Alright, so we're coming up to our next little section here. It's weird because my Vegas audio track is not showing, although I'm recording live commentary. And there's, just to let you guys know, there's going to be a jump scare. Now what you want to do here is you want to be quick, because there is going to be a guy pathing really fast, and he will kill you with a machete if you try and run up the path that you should run up. So once you pass that fire, do not run up the hill. Continue running forward and let the dude pass so that you won't die, because he will kill you. He's killed me before. And dying on insane mode means you have to start from the beginning. That's never a good thing, as I've stated earlier in this commentary. Now here's our first encounter with Nick. What I like to do is I like to hide behind the tent that's literally, I think, diagonal from the fire. It'll have a blood trail next to it, so you guys will see exactly like this is where you need to go. The weird thing that happened this time was that the music, not the ambient music, but the chase music for him actually queued. And if that happens, do not like crawl right up to the top or, you know, forward in that tent. You want to be backwards so Nick has the opportunity to go around the tent and then try and grab your legs. And then while he's, you know, when he's past, you can just crawl forward, and then he'll have to go around to get you. I know that was a lot to explain. I didn't explain the rest of that though because it's a chase sequence. You pretty much just have to keep moving forward, follow the light.
This way, Blake.
The new patch removed the enemy that used to be there that kind of threw off your orientation. So you're not gonna get that quick time event that kind of throws your player backwards. Okay, after you interact with the phone here and run to the back where the phone is actually in the next school section. I think it's actually in this section. It might actually be there. Father Loudermilk is going to be back there, so you know. You can run up to the when the lights. You can run up to the door until the lights spawn in, and when the lights spawn in, that's when you get out of there because he will kill you. I don't know if he can. I'm saying he can because he's an enemy, but I haven't gotten killed by him before. So this is that Nick section I was talking about. Another huge cutscene. There's so many of them in this game. Kind of like the first game. They just feel unnecessarily long, and they're especially boring after you play through the game, or in my case, play through each little section a billion of times.
Forgive me, Lord, but I have to be sure. Open his mouth, Nick. There you go. God, please, let him be your one. He's unmarked. He's pure. He is the skull Messiah. You half-wit dog's cut. He ain't been transubstantiated yet. He ain't been born. First, we gotta get him on that cross. Get my hammer and nails. Let's get on up that hill. He will come born on locust wings, immaculate as a newborn. He will give us his gospel, the sacred words of his teaching. He will be nailed to a cross and die, and he will be buried. But he will rise again in more perfect flesh. We will eat of that flesh in holy communion and be healed of our physical sins. And we shall inherit this broken earth. See? We prepared everything. It's all ready for you.
What? Don't do this, please.
Where is your gospel? You're supposed to have a gospel for us. To guide us in salvation after the end.
The gospel?
The truth. Your guidance. We suffered a long time waiting on you. Well, old Nick, I guess we better put those nails in.
Wait! Ah! Ah!
Good. That wasn't so bad, was it? What's this? Nick, hand me that. Is it a camera? A record? Of course. How could I not see it? A modern Christ would use a camera, not a book. This is our gospel. How could I not have known? Please forgive me for doubting you. There is no suffering that I do not deserve. I am a worm. Festering wound. I must study his lessons. Drive the other nail in and hang him up. You are light of the world. No! You are
Alright, so after you wake up from your crucifixion, which honestly, wouldn't his body weight just pull him down from the nails, it seems like? You wanna tap repeatedly. But I feel like honestly his body weight would just pull him down from the nails. But apparently that's not how it works. I'm not the crucifixion expert here. I'm just stating my opinion and what my thoughts on the matter. Anyways, I got a little bit caught up here, and I think I was actually looking at a video as I was doing this to kind of entertain myself since I've done this so much. And you want to turn to the left there. I got caught up on the rock. Anyways, once you orient yourself, you really want to crouch here. This time the guy didn't spot me. I don't think he ever can spot you yet, since he's never looking that way, but just to be careful. Now you do want to crouch here, because if you don't crouch in the new update, you will die, because the inmate, or not the inmate, but that guy there, he'll stand up. You have to be crouching when you go for the bandages, and you have to be crouching when you're trying to get away from him, because if you don't, he'll stand up and he'll kill you. This area was actually revamped a lot to make it a bit easier. As you'll see, there's not a guy actually pathing through the area that tries to chase you, and there's not going to be a guy who you see, you know, coming out when you're in this log here. I like the first version of the game for nightmare mode because you have checkpoints, but I don't like the first version of the game for insane mode. I feel like the second version, with what I've played so far, is better for insane mode. The first one, it was that heart attack Outlast feeling that we've wanted and that we've kind of expected for the second Outlast, but it just didn't work really well for the insane mode, or some insane mode portions. Some areas have been changed, some areas have been, you know, unchanged. So I'm just glad that they've decided to work on what the community thinks needs fixing. Red Barrels showing their dedication. 10 out of 10. This area is actually pretty simple. I thought I saw something flashing here. Probably a battery or a bandage, but it's actually nothing there. And you just want to circle around this guy. He's really slow. So, you know, he can't really he's not really a threat. Run up here. And this was the section originally where you had to crouch into the tall grass. It always screwed me over. Nick and Leard would find me immediately because I'd always forget, or I'd always be too slow on the crouch key. It was one of those features that worked really well for the nightmare, but not insane mode. If you got here and died, it was understandable, and it sucked. Now here, as you saw, you do want to crouch immediately when you get into the water. Well, not necessarily immediately, because you have about 40 seconds or so, I think, that you have to be in the water, and you get 2 air bubbles that let you know. The first one is letting you know you've been in the water for a long time, and the second one is letting you know that you've been in the water for a long time, but you're getting ready to drown. So you want to make sure you're just underneath that water once he starts pointing his flashlight. I usually just wait a couple seconds before I dive under, so that, you know, my bubble or my air can last a little bit longer and I'm not caught drowning. You actually can take a few hits of damage underneath the water, because I did this in real insane mode and didn't die. But just make sure you're out of there before you drown. Now this is the next section of the game where you actually have to run to the phone.
Is that a phone?
Okay, and once you hear that door, I tried to turn around. The best strategy for there is to make sure, you know, PS4 trophies like to turn backwards. I don't agree with that strategy. Once you hear the door, turn on your light for your camera and turn around so that you don't get turned around in the dark trying to turn around. There's a lot of turning around in that sentence, but to avoid death, use light, turn around, get out of there. And once you hide in that locker or behind the set of lockers, then use the phone.
Hello? Hello? Oh, thank God you're alive. I need you to stay calm. We're going to get you help. We'll get you out of there. I want you to find a place to hide. Someplace safe where you can remember the taste of her kiss when you felt her neck break, you diseased cocksucker.
Okay, there is another chase sequence here, but this one is pretty straightforward. You could pretty much see the bathroom light, so you don't need your light for that section. But Father Loudermilch is chasing you. Although Jessica doesn't look like she's going anywhere, she's hiding in a locker, and that's an indication that you need to do the same. After you hide in the locker and get out, you're coming in contact with Nick and Layard again. It's weird because I tried the strategy, I promise. I tried it a few times last night and it worked, but for like the first 2 times I kept getting caught, and I left that in here because I wanted to show you guys kind of how the tracking worked. I died once, and I think I tried the same strategy again, or I may have tried going through the houses, but it didn't work both times, and I eventually got it to work. The whole ordeal here is that you do not want to draw attention to yourself, and you want to allow Nick and Layard to path away, far away, before you make any goes for the exit. Because if you don't, they'll aimbot you with the arrow and your game is over. I hate that they can aimbot you with the arrow, but it's just kind of the way computer programming works. Although I don't know a lot about it, it sucks, because the computer knows everything. Yeah, even here, I think they still found me.
Rest, Lord.
That time I think I actually decided to purposefully kill myself just so I could test the strategy out again, because it was really ticking me off, because I was like, dude, I tried this strategy late last night and I got it to work like 3 times in a row. How is it not working this time? So this time around I went behind the house. I should have tried the same exact strategy, but I may have went inside the houses. I recorded this an hour ago, so I don't really remember. Yeah, I went inside the house and died. I'm not sure if crouching would actually work better in that area, since you wouldn't be drawing as much attention to yourself, but you're not as mobile if you crouch. Somehow he still sees me. I don't understand. And here's where I screw up. I think he actually bashes through the door and kills me with the arrow or something like that. My voice is getting really scratchy. Probably need some water.
You will live again.
Alright, and I think this is actually the part where the strategy works. I just wanted to include those two to show you guys what not to do. And I may actually record myself, you know, just practicing through the next section or the next hour of the game, just so you guys know what not to do and what to do. It might take me about a 2-hour commentary that time just to entertain you guys while the stuff not to do plays, but I think it'll be worth it. Rather than, you know, just trying to play the game over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, like I did this time around. This time, his tracking still found me, but I was able to kind of use that log to, as a barrier between me and him. And once he actually pathed away from that log, I was able to get out of there. And I actually, for a second, considered trying that strategy again, which is why I'm hesitating and trying to kill myself by jumping off the mountain, but the game doesn't let you do that. So I just said screw it, we'll just continue, because this next little section here is actually kind of important. I'm pointing with my mouse crosshair, but you guys can't see that. I'm pointing to the log. Now the log is important because Nick is going to shoot an arrow there. He'll actually shoot 2 arrows. The first one you can dodge, but the second one, if you're not fast enough, he will shoot you and he will kill you with it. He's done it to me several times. I found that if you just sprint or kind of speed walk and balance yourself on the log, you can dodge the first one and the second one. And here, not here actually, I think it's when you, yeah, it's after the next cutscene. This is just another section where you have to be pretty fast. You're gonna have a quick time event. Make sure you shake your mouse or shake your controller key, whatever you have to do to get past that one. And just make a mad dash for the sliding into the trap. He's only killed me once back there, so if you are too slow, he'll hit you. And you might die, but just make sure you spin around, get your orientation, and then make a dash.
We have you. The gospel isn't done yet. You will report your own resurrection. Complete your gospel.
It must have been adrenaline that got Blake out of this. I think that I would never be able to get out of this type of thing if I was in his similar situation. Thank God none of this actually exists and it's all a virtual reality game. But still, if this somehow managed to happen, I don't know if I'd have the adrenaline. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't.
Don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please.
I mean, that's gotta be scary being buried alive. And with you panicking and breathing heavily in and out, you know, our bodies, we take in oxygen and we breathe out CO2 or carbon dioxide. So, you know, in being in an enclosed area, you need all the air that you can get, but when you're heavily breathing in and out, you're pushing the air or I don't know, you're pushing the air, you're changing the air around you, so you're only breathing carbon dioxide, and if you don't get out there fast enough, then you're gonna just suffocate yourself with carbon dioxide poisoning out this bug. So, turned into a little bit of a science education video, but regardless, we managed to get out. I don't know how long the icon was sitting there for. I was watching a Trench Ray video. Had him on autoplay while I was doing this, just so I could entertain myself while I was going through the boring section that I've practiced like billions of times just to get this video out to you guys. Alright, so we're coming up to a small section that can kill you. There are going to be creepy crawlies on the ground. There are actually 2 batteries on the floor. One's there and one's going to be coming up here. You want to make sure you're paying attention to the ground. This section is actually really easy to avoid, not even take a hit, but I wasn't paying attention when I was playing, and they didn't kill me, but they did manage to hit me, and I managed to wiggle my way out of this one. So just make sure you're paying attention to the floor so that you know where to go. And once you get to that area where you can crawl or slide under the wood or the fence, then do it. Then you're safe. So we're actually coming up on the next Nick section. You want to make sure you make this jump to the window. So just make sure you're aiming with your crosshair and you're not just running and jumping nonchalantly. Also take a few seconds to make sure your stamina is at full so you don't just completely miss the jump. I'm really making sure I gain my composure before I take this jump. It's taking an oddly long time. There we go. Okay. Now you're gonna have a guy, and the guy there, he's actually gonna tell the townspeople here that since everyone thinks you're the Messiah, that you're coming, and you gotta make sure you dodge all these people. So you're actually gonna take a hit, or one of them is actually gonna block our path. Small quick time event. I'm not sure if the no fail QTE option actually works in insane mode, but just have it on just for safety. And you know, keep to the left side so you only have to face one of those guys. Now here's where I died last night when I was playing the real insane mode. A heretic actually came and out of nowhere and killed me, but that did not happen this time, so I'm not sure why the tracking was so bad this game, or so bad in the insane mode run. But I got this strategy here for passing Nick by PS4 trophies, and what he does is he just runs to the right side of the mountain. I'm getting stuck on something here, but I managed to escape. Stick to that right side. Nick actually moves a lot slower in the newest patch, so you know you don't have to worry about having to stop at any specific point, letting them catch up to you or anything like that. And that's how you pass it. Just stick to the left when you're going to get the rope, and stick to the right when you're trying to get away with the rope.
What? Don't touch me! I said get your hands off me! Touch disgusts me just out of you! Hey! Hey! No! No, goddamn you!
So I could honestly stop the video here if I wanted to, since we're getting into a new save point. But I'm actually going to stop it at the raft. I was actually really confused with where to go because I haven't practiced this section of the game. This is the second playthrough of the game that I'm on, and that's why I'm kind of sitting here. I'm looking at my hour-long timer. Oddly enough, I think I still have like 11 minutes or so, which means that this is a really slow hour. But yeah, I was just really confused here. So just make sure if you're trying to, go for a run, especially the Messiah, that you practice every section of the game. before you try your run, because if you get far and then you die because you don't know what to do, there's honestly no one to blame but yourself. Thankfully, I'm practicing here in night mode, in nightmare difficulty, which is the same as insane mode, so it doesn't really make a difference. For this area here, you're gonna run into Father Loudermilk again, and he's gonna be at the bottom of the stairs. So once you see him, turn around and jump over the railing, because he'll teleport himself to the top of the stairs, and if you don't jump off the railing fast enough, he will kill you. And then just make a dash for the door on the bottom. Once you make your way through here, you're safe. Just get to this hatch here, and you're gonna be quickly thrown into another chase sequence with Father Loudermilk. But other than that, it's not anything that you can't pass just by running straight. Oh, we're actually coming up on the next, this is actually an annoying portion of the game. Thankfully, they updated the game so that the microphone does not use any batteries, but even if they didn't update the game, it would still be annoying as heck to try and follow Jessica. So after you tap that note there, then you're gonna be thrust into like a dark area where Jessica's in the vicinity, and you have to follow her voice.
Jessica!
Come here.
Jess! Hey!
As I said, microphones don't use, or the microphone in this game after the latest update doesn't use batteries, so I was just able to
Jessica!
use
Can you hear me?
the microphone to follow her voice. It still takes me a while even with the microphone though, so
Thou art near. Thou art
but once you do get this,
kind and dear.
then you can see Jessica's death or Jessica's hanging.
Son, look down upon thy little one.
That's not actually how she dies.
He this Oh God, the sun, look down upon thy little one. Light of light.
So yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm on PC, so I'm kind of just moving my mouse back and forth and looking at the L and the R for the microphone indicator to see where
This way, Blake.
she is,
Jess, are you
and just
there?
kind of use that to be your guide. Don't turn on your light if you're going for the Messiah trophy, but you can see there we got it. And I was actually confused here because I thought we were at the portion of the game where you're in the pool and you have to run away from Father Loudermilk, but we're not. So I turn on my light for a few seconds just to orient myself and figure out where the heck I'm at. This is actually the section where you're coming in contact with the raft. Nothing here can hurt you. In between, finding Jessica's hanging and finding the raft. So just make sure you memorize the path so you're not like running around like a chicken with your head cut off like I was here. I do eventually find the raft though, so I'm gonna leave that in the gameplay. You're looking for a door that's kind of creepily, very eerily opening up. You can see it was just to the right of me a few seconds ago. I was just confused as heck when I was doing this because I haven't played. Well, I played through this section of the game since I beat the game once, but it's been a really long time period between playing the first part of the game and getting here again, so I was just like disoriented with where I needed to go. Alright, once you get up here to the hill, or to the top of this mountain here, you just want to find pretty much a gap. There are going to be two sections of the mountain, and in between there's going to be an area where you can slide. I missed it a few times just because I haven't played this section of the game, but once you find it, that's pretty much how you, after you get past the jump, that's pretty much how you're just going to get to the raft. I'm looking around here seeing is there anywhere else I can jump to, but there's not. Just make sure you don't fall off this mountain. It would suck if you get this far and manage to fall off just because you don't know where you're going, or you think you can jump here when you can't do that. Yeah, that's the gap you're looking for right there. Follow the light to your destination, and here is where we get to the raft. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then remember to slap the like button down below. More videos like this will be coming out in the future. They're probably going to be hour long, just so I can cover a lot of the game. Hopefully you guys have enough time to sit down and watch the video for instructions on what to do. I'm literally just going to sit here and you know, sit on the raft for a couple of seconds just so I can end off the recording. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and peace. Have a safe, wonderful, and blessed day. 444 Time is out. Peace.